What's up, guys? Bang, bang. It's lunch money time. I'm here with the intelligent Polina Pompliano, who has a amazing, I actually like this. It's soft. It looks like a cheetah. Looks like you are ready to take on the world. What's up? Well, while she's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Don't forget that lunch money is now sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi allows you to buy and sell crypto. You can take out a US dollar loan and get your crypto collateral, or you can earn up to 8.6% APY in an interest-bearing account. If you have a BlockFi account, you can also now sign up for the waitlist for the Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You use your credit card, but rather than get airline miles or dollars back, you get Bitcoin. No brainer. Go sign up, BlockFi.com/pomp, BlockFi.com/pomp.
Before we start with the topics, I have an announcement. Spammers, get out of the comments. If you see that somebody with Anthony's name has commented on your post, it's probably a spammer if they're asking you to send somebody WhatsApp or money on WhatsApp.
I'm not gonna ask you that.
And if it's actually him, his name is highlighted on YouTube, so that's how you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you for nothing on...
He ain't going to ask for nothing.
I don't need money. I don't need your WhatsApp number. I don't need you to message me. We're good. If I comment, it'll just be a bunch of exclamation points saying, let's go.
Don't be sending people money on the internet. Okay.
All right, let's go.
PayPal CEO Dan Schulman said the use of digital currencies is set to go mainstream as more merchants take a digital-first approach to payments. The entire world is going to come into digital first, he said.
Duh.
Shops are moving to accept payments via smartphones and QR codes, even in store, and more customers are going to start using digital wallets, which are natural complements to digital currencies.
Of course, this is going to happen. The question is not whether it's going to happen, it's when and how is it going to happen? Sequentially, what's going to occur? Are people going to use Bitcoin? Are they going to use other currencies? How does this play out? That is the big question. We don't know, but what we do know is that the end state is everyone's got a digital wallet and everyone's using digital currencies. Get ready because the world's coming.
Another person who is sounding bullish on Bitcoin. BlackRock's Larry Fink said Bitcoin has caught the attention and the imagination of many people, still untested, pretty small market relative to other markets. Sounds almost bullish.
Larry Fink is the co-founder and CEO of the largest asset manager in the world, $7.5 trillion. They're bullish on Bitcoin. They're not out here accidentally saying these comments. They're definitely looking, they're trying to figure it out, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next thing we see is BlackRock rolling out products or helping their clients get exposure to Bitcoin. The people who are coming into this asset now, it's a $360 billion asset. It is so undervalued, it's not even funny. So get ready, we'll see what happens, bang, bang. By the way, I don't think that you have this on here, but another person who was bullish today. Paul Tudor Jones. Polina and I's friend Julia.
She's awesome.
Went ahead on Yahoo Finance and she interviewed Paul Tudor Jones and asked him about Bitcoin. And Paul Tudor Jones essentially said two things. One, Bitcoin is the new gold, right? And he can't believe that the entire crypto industry is only $500 billion. He thinks that it's going to be worth trillions in the future. So lots of upside. And the second thing he said was that sovereign nations, every single one of them, will have a digital currency in the future.
So I have a question. Why are all these rich people coming out saying they believe in Bitcoin now?
It's not about being rich, right? It's like their job, especially a Larry Fink, a Paul Tudor Jones, their job is to take a macro view of the world. What is happening in the world and what is the impact of those events on all the different assets? So if all of a sudden I'm looking at, let's say in the United States, there's a bunch of businesses closed, there's government lockdowns still occurring, all kinds of crazy stuff. The mayor of LA doesn't want anyone to go walk outside, idiot. While that's occurring, then you're going to get the Federal Reserve and elected officials. They're going to step in. They're going to print money. Okay, if they print money and they keep interest rates depressed for a long period of time, what impact does that have on real estate prices? Oh, cheap capital floods in. Okay, real estate prices go up. What impact does that have on equities? Well, some equities will go up, some equities will go down, right? That's their entire job, is to understand how the economy, this super complex interwoven thing, operates, and then to make investment decisions based on that. One of the things that is occurring that is becoming very, very obvious to everyone is that everyone's going to be using digital currencies. So you see PayPal, BlackRock, Paul Tudor Jones, everyone talking about that. And then the second thing is that there's an entire generation of people who are, let's call it, under the age of 35 or 40. There's people over it who believe this as well, but the majority of people under the age of 35 or 40 grew up with a cell phone in their hand. They have this digital native type mentality. And so what they're looking at is they're not going to buy gold. They're not going to buy traditional assets. They're going to buy those assets in a digitally native way. So you see that through Robinhood kind of trading and things like that. Bitcoin is simply operating as a digital asset that provides sound money principles, which is what gold historically had done for kind of the boomer generation. But now these young people, or
these millennials,
Zoomers, are literally just buying the same sound money principles to protect their wealth and capture upside value, but they're doing it in a new technology form factor, which is Bitcoin. And so I think people are just waking up to that and they're saying, wait, the digital world is here. Like the pandemic accelerated all these trends and people are saying the digital world is here. How do we respond?
I personally don't know anybody my age who's buying gold, but who knows?
Would you buy gold?
What people do on their own time, you know what I'm saying?
You got gold in that ring right there.
Oh, yeah. But I'm not buying it.
That's true.
Does that mean like I can like... Okay.
You could melt it down, but
right.
I think that somebody in your family would be very upset. I don't know, maybe grandma.
Okay. Amazon is in exclusive talks to purchase podcast startup Wondery. According to people familiar with the matter, the Wall Street Journal reports, as the tech giant pushes further into the growing audio sector. The talks value Wondery at over $300 million. I really thought Wondery wasn't that great.
What do they do?
Wondery?
Yeah.
It's like a network of podcasts that you pay for.
And they have what? Revenue of more than $40 million this year? Huh.
You haven't heard of
And
Wondery?
what's the valuation? 300 million?
Yeah.
Huh. What profitability they got?
What are you doing?
That's a pretty big valuation.
Oh, well.
I mean, Bill Simmons was bought for 200 million.
Yeah, but you're looking at Spotify, picking up all these things, and then of course it's going to have a high valuation. Anything in podcast right now is going to have a high valuation. Maybe your podcast could be $300 million.
Maybe I should start taking it a little bit more seriously.
But yeah, that's interesting. I don't think Wondery... Okay. Wondery's investors, who could have a big payday if this goes through, include Waverly Capital, Lear Hippa Ventures, Greycroft Partners, and Advanced Capital. I've heard of like two of those. Yeah. Why is Amazon so interesting?
U.S. ad revenue for podcasts is only $700 million last year.
It's exploded.
No, that's small.
I know, but it's going to be
not even $1 billion.
It's going to be big.
All right, send me this article. I would like to read it and understand what they're doing. Next.
All right, you're going to like this one.
Yeah, let's see.
The Department of Homeland Security's internal watchdog said it would open an investigation into the use of mobile phone surveillance technologies to track Americans without a warrant. The latest salvo in a debate within the U.S. government over the legality of such techniques. And apparently, they've been tracking us for a while.
Of course they're doing it. We'll look into
data.
it. We'll look into it. Yeah, you don't need to look into anything. You know you're doing it. It's been proven you were doing it. Right? This is the whole Edward Snowden thing. They were using all sorts of electronic surveillance that people weren't aware of, and it has now been determined that it was illegal. Their courts have decided that it was illegal. They overstepped their bounds.
Yeah, well, if my phone knows where I'm going, I don't know.
Look, we need to protect the United States, right? If you're an American, you want to be protected. You want to make sure that there aren't terrorist attacks, that that you can walk to the store. You're not worried about somebody pulling out an AK-47 and shooting you in the street, right? It's not a roadside bomb, that somebody's not going to fly a plane into a tower, that when you get on a plane, you don't have to worry about somebody trying to hijack it, like all those things. But we need to protect people.
There is such a thing as over-surveillance, right?
Well, there would be an argument from the most hardcore kind of people around personal freedoms and individual liberties that you should not violate the freedom and the rights of one individual, not one, in order to accomplish that goal.
So one senator said, if federal agencies are tracking American citizens without warrants, the public deserves answers and accountability. I won't accept anything less than a thorough and swift inspector general investigation that sheds light on DHS's phone location data surveillance program.
Craziness. This is crazy.
Crazy.
But by the way, they're doing it. Duh. Of course they're doing it. Why do you think they're referring to the DHS's phone location tracking program.
Yeah, it's like a program.
If it's a program, they're definitely doing it. It's a balance. I do want to clarify one thing.
Yeah.
I think that people don't understand how much work many of these kind of law enforcement, DHS, et cetera, do to keep us safe. Like, I actually don't think people realize how many threats there are. At the same time, I also don't think people realize how invasive a lot of their surveillance is and how much rights have been taken from people.
Yeah. And it's hard once you take somebody's right to give it back.
Of course.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
$2 million t-shirts, baby. The most complete collection of Supreme t-shirts is being offered for sale at Christie's for about $2 million, highlighting the soaring value of the luxury streetwear brand and the growing importance of a new generation in the collectibles world. Collectibles will be big. You can tell them about your art.
The collection features 253 shirts, which works out to an average of more than $7,900 per shirt. The collection is being offered as a private sale, meaning a buyer would purchase it directly from Christie's. How much did the shirts originally sell for?
Unclear.
What do you mean unclear?
We don't know.
And the 21-year-old has the collection? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. What are you guys paying $7,900 for a t-shirt for?
Tell them about your art.
Oh, Ferocious, the best digital artist in the world.
Best digital artist.
Ferocious worked with Jason and I and created an amazing piece of art of the New York skyline. It's in this
digital piece of art.
Digital piece. It's this pop art style. And on Sunday, this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to auction it off on Nifty Gateway.
Ooh.
And when we auction it off, we're going to take a portion of the proceeds and we're going to donate it to the New York City Food Bank.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to donate it. Because guess what? The reason why New York is so amazing is because of the New Yorkers that live there. And so how do we help the people in the city?
Oh, that's so nice.
So we're going to donate a portion of proceeds to the New York City Food Bank from the auction. But Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, bang, bang.
Bang,
It's going to be
bang.
a big one.
Wait, can I bid? My
Sure.
$2?
Sure. You can start the bidding off at $2.
No.
All right.
I will bid high and fly.
Let's just get to the lunch money. Hashtag AskLM in the comments.
Lunch money time. Guys, use hashtag AskLM in the comments. Ask us a question and we'll likely respond to it. Lynn asks, "Hi, Anthony. I'm Lynn from Vietnam. I knew you from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad podcast and watched almost all of your lunch money and interviews since then. I'm very impressed by how smart and knowledgeable you are. Can you share your learning process and experience?" Thank you, Lynn. What's your learning process like?
I don't have a structured one. I just read and consume as much content as I possibly can. Like, I'm generally curious. And so what I do is I spend a lot of time reading through on Twitter. I try to curate a bunch of people that I think are really interesting. A lot of friends know the things I'm interested in, so they send me stuff. I read all kinds of stuff on the internet. I actually don't read books as much as I used to, but that I'm trying to figure out why that is.
Books are hard for business because it changes all the damn time. So if you're reading a business book from 5 years ago, it's likely things have already kind of changed.
That's true. And then I listen to a lot of podcasts. And my whole thing is just I generally consume content from the perspective that I want to have an open mind and understand other people's perspectives. So I don't necessarily go into it saying, hey, I want to understand the truth, because the truth is really, really hard to uncover when you're reading or consuming and you haven't thought about it yet. Instead, what I do is I want to read things and say, hey, what does Polina believe? Or what does John believe? Or what does, Mary believe? And then as I consume that content, I basically take all these different pieces of content and ideas around a topic, and then I formulate my own idea. And a lot of times what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to say something, to myself of like, I want to take this part of Polina's argument, but I don't agree on the consequences of that thing that she said. And I want to put it with John's, reading of if that thing happens, here's the conclusion.
It's like the Frankensteining of ideas.
Well, it's just trying to consume as much content as possible and then sifting through it and trying to find the things that make the most sense. And what I find is the more that I spread like the spider web, the more content I consume across different disciplines, the more likely it is that you actually start to hone in and find, kind of quote unquote truth or what you believe.
I will say Anthony's one of the very few people, if not the only person I know that knows a lot about different industries, like from private equity to media to tech. Like, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's hard to go deep on a topic that I'm not necessarily that familiar with, but he'll like sit and like read all this stuff on this one thing until he understands it. I mean, that's how you learn about Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's just being curious, trying to understand things. And then what I like to do is then I like to try to tell somebody about it so that I know if I really understand it or not. Because if I can explain it to you, then obviously I understand it.
One time we played this game where I was like, I'm going to ask you a question that you're not going to know. And I was like, how are pencils made? And he was like, well, you see, the letter. I was like, all right, goodbye. Okay.
I do everything.
No, okay. That's because my questions weren't hard enough. I'll think of better ones.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.